Go.
Hello, my name is Sammy. I'm going to be talking to you guys about a topic today. It's social isolation in today's society. The definition of social isolation is pervasive withdrawal or avoidance of social contact or communication. There are many different types of isolation, and there's many different impacts. The most common cause of social isolation is advancing technology. Decades ago, people didn't find themselves under as much depression, isolation, and loneliness. A 2006 study argued that since 1985, Americans have become more socially isolated. Because of this, their networks have diminished and the diversity of people they talk to are also decreased. Those who do have relationships say that their quality of relationships is also decreased. The rise of internet and mobile phones are said to be a major cause of pulling people away from traditional settings. Bringing technology into your core networks can have a devastating effect on how you interact with people. The evolution of technology has shifted the way social interaction develops. Personal interaction has been exchanged for convenience. When people bring in technology into their core networks, then it shifts the way people try to talk face to face. For an example, kids used to ride around the block and hang out with each other, but nowadays they just play video games and don't gain the communication skills. Facebook is a type of social networking site. The use has doubled since 2008 and the population has gotten a lot older. Facebook has changed the definition of what it means to be a friend. A friend once meant a person who someone knows, likes, and trusts. Now it's someone you've heard or seen and continue to cyberstalk. We now know that social isolation has decreased the network size by 1/3, and we are dependent upon electrical devices for communication rather than physical encounters. Who's being affected by this and how? There are many different people being affected by isolation. Teens are at the greatest risk because adolescence is the time for gaining the skills and communication. Outside of school, 54% of kids use texting as their common communication form. 33% use personal contact. The repercussions of isolation as a teen can be devastating. The number one is school. If kids are texting and on their devices during school, they're not going to retain any information. The next one is texting while talking to others. This lessens relationships and weakens the trust between two people talking. Jobs is another one. The number one skill needed for a job is being able to communicate with others. If you can't communicate at work or can't even communicate during the interview, then that can be devastating in getting a job. Adults are also feeling isolation too. The effects on adults can also be very negative. Health and well-being are affected as well as blood pressure and depression. Elderly is a concession in this. Texting can be good and incorporating technology in the elderly can be a great thing. It will increase their relationships, they have higher family interaction, and they're not alone. The elderly are the most risk for being depressed, so if they're being communicated with their other family members, then they'll be able to talk to others. Also, if they're hearing impaired, texting is a great way to talk to your grandma. The general effects of isolation is loneliness and depression. They avoid others and they're very sad. Their brain is also affected. Brains of lonely people react differently than those with strong social networks. They display less activity in regions associated with rewards, such as happiness, love, and eating food. How can we change this? We need to change isolation in our society. If we do, those will have a happier, fuller life and better relationships. It is vital that